Howdy, bestie buddies! Friends make our lives better. You feel happier as a person when you're around your friends. However, some friendships may not be as beneficial as others. Toxic friendships make you feel exhausted and have a negative effect on your health. In today's video, we'll share signs that will help you spot a toxic friendship. Is leaving you unsettled an indication? Are they always trying to change you? We're talking about all that and more. Number 1, they make you uncomfortable. The tough thing about friends is that we love and appreciate them, and that affection may often blind us to their terrible behavior. You need to recognize these signs. Studies show that friends who constantly argue with one another are in an unhealthy relationship. To put it simply, people shouldn't disagree with each other that much. A friendly argument over something harmless is fine, but constant fighting over serious subject matter is not healthy. A toxic friend will often manipulate people in order for them to feel a certain way. This means guilting you into doing something that you're not entirely comfortable with. It's these awkward situations that will leave you nervous. You never know what to say around them because they might freak out or try to mock you. If you're constantly experiencing these situations with a friend, you may want to avoid them. Number 2, they're envious of your other friends. Toxic friends like to be the center of attention. If there are other people in your life, they will often feel envious, especially if they feel you're spending more time with these people than you are with them. As a way to combat this insecurity, the toxic friend will often pit you against these friends. This is done by telling you lies. Your friends don't really like you. They say things behind your back. You know, I'm really your only friend at the end of the day. As usual, there are reasons for this insecurity. Studies found that self-reported friendship jealousy is associated with loneliness and dissatisfaction with peers and friends among early adolescents. As a result of this envy, the toxic friend will try to smear your reputation in order for people to avoid you. If you're seeing signs of envy from this person, it's best to start cutting them off. Number 3, they make an apology without sincerity. We all have good and bad days. A bad day can turn a nice person into your worst enemy, but this doesn't make them toxic. A toxic friend will flip out no matter what mood they're in. The worst part is that they rarely apologize. Even if they know they've made you feel horrible, they won't exhibit any regret. When you confront them about their behavior, they either shrug it off or say, "Sorry." Instead of taking the time to think about your point of view, they reply, "I'm sorry you feel that way," or they follow up with a defensive, "but..." These non-apologies indicate that your friend simply doesn't care about how their actions affected you. Number 4, they put you down frequently. Friends joke a lot, and a little good-natured teasing doesn't always imply your friendship is toxic, especially if you're laughing along with them. Your connection is probably unhealthy if a buddy constantly demeans you and makes you miserable, whether through subtle nagging or open insults. Toxic buddies, unlike the rest of your pals, rarely congratulate or applaud you. They never praise or congratulate you on your accomplishments. They are more inclined to kick you when you're down and rarely help you feel good about yourself. When other people encourage you, a toxic friend may sit and sulk. Number 5, they keep comparing you to others. Do you have a friend who enjoys pointing out how you don't match up to their other friends? For example, it's possible that because your car isn't as nice as another person's, hanging out with you just isn't as enjoyable. A good friend will notice how everyone has their own distinct characteristics and differences. They won't make comparisons to others or suggest you're inferior to someone else. They also don't use peer pressure to get you to do things you don't want to do. On the other hand, toxic friends thrive on persuading you to descend to their level. If they have a drinking problem, for example, they may push you to get additional drinks during happy hour. Alternatively, if they continue to go from relationship to relationship, they may criticize you for being in your long-term partnership. Before we move ahead, here's another video you might like. Watch and learn 17 things only people with alpha personalities do. Now back to our talk on signs of a toxic friendship. Number 6, they gossip on a regular basis. What if you confided in a buddy and the next day your whole social circle is aware of what you said? Anyone can make a mistake and say something they shouldn't. Even when you beg them to keep sensitive information private, toxic friends will share secrets. If you hear a friend talk badly about others, there's no reason to think they aren't saying the same about you. This is why you need to be cautious about what you're saying to them. Gossip is one of the quickest ways to destroy a friendship. You may not hear something from your toxic friend, but you will hear things about you from other people. Sometimes you'll hear your name being said in a private conversation. That's really uncomfortable. Toxic people love juicy information about other people. Doesn't matter if the person is a complete stranger or their best friend. The information is more valuable to them the more negative it is. This way, they can use it as leverage to get you to do something they want. Oh, you cheated on your partner? Well, do this for me, or I'll spill the details. In order to not stoop to their level, it's best that you avoid gossip yourself. It's very easy in today's culture to get sucked into a meaty story about someone you know. Remember how it felt to have something said about you and back away from the temptation. You don't want to become a toxic friend yourself. Number 7, they're always trying to change you. Someone who's always trying to change you is not your best friend. A good friend accepts you for who you are and realizes you're already the best you can be. They're not picking away at every little flaw you have. A toxic friend will constantly be criticizing your every choice. Remember how I mentioned they compare you to other friends? Well, they will do this as a way to change things about you. This will really amp up your social anxiety. But why do they do this? Well, it's often to steer attention away from themselves. There's probably something they're insecure about and they don't want people to see. As a result, they will criticize you instead. Number 8, they don't respect your limits. The key word for this next point is boundaries. Everybody has them. The thing with boundaries is that when they're set, we don't want anyone to cross them. A toxic friend always fails to recognize another person's limits and will do whatever makes them feel comfortable. Let's say, for instance, you're hanging out at home for the night. Even after telling them you're staying in, they decide to call you up and persuade you to come out. The problem is, you're tired, and you really just want to relax. Instead of respecting your situation, they decide to ask you again. This is a classic example of not honoring a person's boundaries. But it gets worse. It's especially scary when a person steals from you. That is a violation of not only your boundaries, but your trust. If you get the feeling that your friend is capable of stealing, do your best to stay away from them. Number 9, everything revolves around them and their issues. Remember when I said they get jealous when you pay attention to others? This is because the world needs to revolve around them. It's a case of pure narcissism. They're only happy when other people are concerned with them. A toxic friend will go on forever about their problems. It's like they can talk for hours about themselves without asking about anything in your world. They couldn't care less about the issues of others unless said issue affects their lives directly. A good friend will be concerned with the ins and outs of your life. They want to know if you have a problem. Friendship is great, but it can also be tricky. There are so many red flags to watch out for. Let's keep the conversation going with a couple related videos, shall we? Here's what else you should know. Check out when to cut toxic family members from your life. Or how about 12 techniques to set boundaries with a toxic family member? Go ahead, click one, or better yet, watch both and learn more about how to tell if someone is toxic for you. Do you have a toxic friend? Let us know in the comments below.